Today we're gonna do a quick dip into the history of Lucky Horseshoe tattoos. So most people associate horseshoes with protection, good luck, and success. But why? If you've ever been kicked by a horse, you wouldn't think a horseshoe was lucky at all. So since the domestication of horses, people have been looking for ways to protect horses' hooves from damage. Around 400 BCE in Asia, they would have little booties made of grass, reeds, and hide. The Romans would later update this to hipposandals, which is basically a metal plate attached to the horse's hoof with a leather strap. So at this time, horses are pretty significant companions in the building blocks of human civilization. Their roles in agriculture, transportation, warfare, and industry are pretty unmatched. So of course, taking care of their feet is very important. Superstition enters the picture in the 8th century when Chaldeans thought that the crescent shape of the horseshoe captured protective energy and warded off the evil eye. And a legend from 10th century Europe says that Saint Dunstan, while spending time as a hermit at Glastonbury Abbey, was approached by the devil and asked to resole his cloven hoof. But Dunstan, who knew he was working with the devil, purposely nailed it on painfully and refused to remove it until the devil agreed that he would never enter a house with a horseshoe hung above the doorway. So horseshoes were mainly made of iron in the Middle Ages, and many Europeans then thought that iron had magical properties that could ward off witches, malicious spirits, and evil fae. Some even said that witches flew away on broomsticks because they had to avoid horses for that very reason. I don't really know how accurate that is because witches also use cast iron cauldrons and they don't seem to have a problem with that, but I'm not one to question witch science. So an iron horseshoe was the most ideal for protection, but there's even more to it. During the Crusades, iron was a pretty valuable metal, and iron horseshoes were sometimes used in trade, therefore associating it with wealth and success. Now this whole luck thing is starting to make sense, right? So if you want the ultimate charm for good luck, prosperity, and protection, the horseshoe is it. And I mean, what's better than a tattoo that can bring you all of that? And probably a bag of chips. And if you don't feel lucky after you get the tattoo, at least you'll look cool. That's it for Lucky Horseshoes. I will be back with more, so I'll see you next time.